I'm going to show you guys what I consider the proper way to calibrate ESCs using KISS. If you try to program or calibrate ESCs using KISS, what'll end up happening is you'll go in, you can set min command to 2000 and arm, it'll go to 2000, you can plug your battery in, but if you sit there and look in the data tab, you'll see your motors will be jumping up and down. It's basically the PID controller is trying to keep the quad level even though none of the motors are spinning because you're trying to calibrate them. What it'll end up doing is it'll give you a false high point, and then when you disarm it gives you a true low point of 1000, but your high point might be 1990 on some ESCs, it might be 1998 on some ESCs, it might be 1979 on others. You want it to be true 2000 on all of them, and thanks to the new update you can actually do this. So I'm going to show you how to properly set up ESCs, whether it be KISS ESCs or whether it be Little B's or any other. When using KISS, this is how I would set up ESCs from here out now that they have this test feature. So what you're going to do is plug your quad into the computer and you're going to go ahead and hit connect. Once it connects, you're going to go to the data output page. You're going to make sure that your radio is off. You're then going to go here, and if you have the latest GUI and you have the latest firmware, you will see this test feature next to motors. You're going to go ahead and click test. And you're going to say, yes, I'm not an idiot, I don't have props on, I know what I'm doing, and you're going to go to the next page. Then what you're going to do is you'll now see that there are check boxes. These ones are grayed out, this one isn't. You're going to enable this one here, which enables the test motors tab. You're then going to check for each motor that you're wanting to test. In this case, we're wanting to calibrate all of them. So we're going to go ahead and check all of them. At this point, you can now then go ahead and turn on your radio.
Just hit a button, Morty. Oh, yeah. It's time to switch.
Switch warning.
Okay.
0 volts.
So now that your radio is on, it will actually let your radio communicate and control the motors directly. So I'm going to go ahead and push the throttle up, and you will see that the motors are exactly where you put them. They don't bounce around, they don't jump. I'm at 2000, if I go all the way down, I'm at 1000, back to 2000. This directly controls the motors. Please make sure your props are off, because if your props are on and you have battery voltage plugged in right now, it's going to control all 4 motors exactly the same, and it's going to go flying out of control. So don't be an idiot. Make sure your props are off if you're doing this. So now that we have it at 2000, we can go ahead and grab a LiPo and we can plug it in. Drop the throttle all the way down. And now they are programmed at 2000 and 1000 exactly. All 4 motors are exactly the same. The next thing I like to do at this point is I will normally go on the radio. If I can get this. I'll sit. Alright, so I'll take my radio and I will slowly roll the throttle up until I can see that all 4 motors are spinning. And I'll usually drop it down a little bit and see at what RPM the motor spins smoothly at. So in this case, it's pretty much 1048 is where these motors, I'm running the Lumineer 20, what is it? They're the 2206 2350s, which spin incredibly smooth, and with the KISS ESCs, you can set it pretty low. So I would normally on this setup set my min throttle at either probably 1055, just so that if you're using air mode or something and your motors drop really suddenly down, they'll at least stay spinning with props on, because if they stall out, you're going to have like crazy out of control death rolls, or whatever you want to call them, infinity rolls. That's one of the issues that causes that, is having your motors set at too low. At least I have found. that having them set too low can cause a motor to like cog out, and once it does that, it's basically spinning out of control trying to correct for it. So now that we know exactly what our low throttle is, we can then go into the configurations tab, and actually I would uncheck enable motor test at this point, and it's probably not a bad idea to unplug your LiPo, considering that
12.3 volts.
yeah. Alright, so I'd unplug the LiPo, that way when we go to this next page you can actually save your settings. So in this page here, what you're going to do is you're going to set your min throttle RPM. I'm just going to set mine for 1055. Max throttle I'm keeping at 2000, and mid command I'm going to go ahead and set for 1065 because I like to use a idle up switch. And then what we're going to do is save these settings. And now you should be all set. Your ESCs are now calibrated. You have your min throttle set at the lowest RPM that you can pretty much put them at without having issues. And everything is set 100% properly without having to go in and clear your PID loop out, do a bunch of other stuff. It's a lot easier, and I'm really happy that they went through the hassle of adding that motor test feature. So I hope this helps you guys out, and have fun flying. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, then go ahead and hit like. If you want to see some more videos like this, then make sure you subscribe to my channel. So if there's any tutorials that you guys might want to see, just leave a comment down below and I'll put something together.